edition of To My Way of Thinking, where we talk with the tree shakers, policymakers, and those persons who would make our community a better place to live. Today, we're having a conversation with Fredericka Denson-Butler, and that's a lot of names. But she is running, she is a candidate for Duval County School Board District 4 here in Jacksonville, Florida. And we thought we'd talk with her early on to see where she's coming from. Thank you for joining us, Ms. Butler.
Oh, thank you for having me, Mr. Matthews.
All right. Well, one of the things that hits me right off the bat when I look at your resume here is that you're a teacher, and if I'm reading this right, you're willing to give up teaching to go into politics. They're paying you a little money on the school board for the school board seat. I think it's like 48 grand or something like that a year. But you're willing to give up teaching to go into politics?
Well, I won't say it's quite politics. I always say that I am a public servant. I'm never a politician. I'm a public servant. I've been advocating for students and their families, the community, the staff members, everyone that I work with now at school. I've been advocating for years, over 20 years. So I consider myself a public servant.
I mean,
so yeah.
As I read this, you're basically exceptionality's lead teacher at Maddie V. Rutherford Alternative School within Duval County. Where students receive a free, appropriate public education. What does that mean? What does that mean?
So with varying exceptionalities, I work with students with disabilities. Some of those disabilities may be intellectual disability. Some of those disabilities may be specific learning disabilities. Some of those disabilities may be emotional. They may have emotional disabilities, just to name a few. They may have other health impaired disabilities, such as attention deficit, ADHD, things of that nature, maybe hearing impaired. So we deal with a lot of students that may have those disabilities, and each one of them have their own individual educational plan. So when we say free and appropriate public education, that's what they are receiving with accommodations.
Well, I see
those accommodations, and some of those accommodations may be extended time. They may it may be a check-in, check-out. It may be where they get a one-on-one. It just depends on that person's individual educational plan.
All right. Well, I see that. Well, for your work, you currently were able to become Teacher of the Year at Maddie V. Rutherford, and Teacher of the Year, Young Women's Leadership Academy, and Powering a Potential Award you received from the Jacksonville Public Education Fund. Back in 2021, 80 awards, along with a classroom grant there. Well, that's all right. And I don't mind telling some friends of mine that she's a Viking, by the way.
I am a Viking.
Ichiban, class of 71. You're class of 86.
86. Yes, right. Sir. Class of 86. Yes.
That'll get you some views right there. So tell us again why you deciding to run. And by the way, do we refer to you as Denson-Butler or just Denson or Butler?
Either one. Denson-Butler. When I was at Butler, they called me DB. So everyone was like Denson-Butler or DB. Doesn't matter. Butler. So I answer to them both.
What's going to be on the ballot? Do you know?
Yes, Fredericka Denson-Butler.
All right. Tell us again, why are you running for the school board?
Mr. Matthews, I have to say that I am running because I believe in District 4. I have been advocating for my students and their families, the communities, the whole 9 yards, people at my job. I just want to make District 4 a great entity where people can come and be heard and be provided the same resources as all the other districts. I want to be their voice. I want to be the student voices when they are voiceless. I want to be the family voices. Like I say, I work with students with disabilities, and a lot of the parents do not understand what they're reading. So I want to be that voice when it comes to the entire district, whatever that student may be. If that student has any disabilities or not, I am for all students. So that is one of the reasons I am running. Maybe the only reason I'm running. Like I say, I'm a public servant. I just believe in doing what's right and making sure our students are being supported, that our families are being supported, that our community are being supported, and they're being heard. So whatever the community wants to see takes place in their area, I am advocating for that. I am a big advocator. I use that word quite often because that's what I do all day, every day. I've been advocating all day since 7:20 this morning to 2:40. So I'm
Okay.
a big advocator.
Now this is an open seat,
Yes,
and
sir.
you don't have to worry about having a party affiliation. It doesn't matter whether you're Republican or Democrat here.
Correct.
Everybody can vote
Correct.
who are residents of District 4.
Correct.
Um, and so again, what are the top three things that you want to accomplish, or the top three issues that have driven you to run for the school board?
Absolutely. So the top three that I found issues, speaking with my colleagues, speaking with other families, speaking with community leaders, but for me, the top three have been our students. Like I say, I work with students with disabilities. I'm at an alternative school. So a lot of our students are low proficiency. Matter of fact, the District 4, the math proficiency and ELA proficiency are very low. So that is a priority, making sure that we're being consistent with our curriculum, making sure we're using resources that we need to build their education. That's one. Two is teacher pay. I always keep my teacher hat on. Although I am a Duval Teacher United member, although I am a Duval Teacher United board member, I always keep my teacher hat on. So just retaining effective teachers, making sure we are paying them. So I will definitely be advocating for teacher pay, keeping them there. If we can find bonuses, that would be a great deal. And then third is working conditions. A lot of my colleagues I've come to connect with, some of the issues are the working conditions and being safe. So that's the biggest thing is safety and learning environment, safe learning environment.
Mm.
If I
Now,
must say.
now, you touched on something a second ago concerning the DTU, Duval Teachers United. Were you aware of the issue that was facing the director and the senior executive at the teachers union, Terry Brady, and of course the assistant who've gone down in a bit of shame here? Were you aware of that these kinds of issues were going on? That really puts quite a taint on the union reputation.
I would have to say, no, I was not aware. Actually, when I joined, that is when everything occurred, and we were not made aware as a board member. Yeah, this was going on prior to me joining the board.
Hmm. Okay. Well, as we stand right now, what are the top three issues that you want to see the board deal with? They have not been. Are you in favor of moving the headquarters from where it is to another location? Um, I don't really know the reason for moving it to another location other than it would be more convenient for some contractors to build on the property where the school board is. But would you be in favor of moving the school board headquarters to another location, or are you fine with where it is?
I am fine with where it is. I think it is a general location for most of the employees there. So I would oppose to moving it. I was one for keeping it where it is. So I would definitely be an advocate for keeping it in the location it is and maybe find funding to rebuild it. But I would definitely keep it downtown. That would be my case. is keeping it downtown, and then have a rationale as to why. For me, most of us, like I say, it's easier to navigate from downtown to your permanent location, whether it be Rains, Rebo, Southside, the beaches, etc. That is a neutral location.
Mm. Now, what are the some of the issues that you see happening for the schools that are in your district? Um, you've obviously going to put a great deal of emphasis on special education and that kind of thing. But are there some detriments that for schools in your district that you want to see uh, in the district that you'll be the
Mm-hmm.
representative of? Are there some specific issues, either education wise or brick and mortar wise, that you want to see corrected or upgraded?
Yes, absolutely. When it comes to student achievement, making sure our students are proficient, graduation rate, I was just looking at some data a while ago, and graduation rates were really good. But the proficiency, our math proficiency and our reading proficiency, our levels, we want to definitely make sure that we are providing those resources. And we want to make sure that we have effective teachers in those classrooms. That has been the biggest thing, is making sure we have effective teachers in those classrooms and not vacancies. We don't want to have a lot of vacancies, because if we have vacancies, then our students aren't being educated. They aren't being taught the standards. So that's going to be a thing that I would advocate, being in those schools and just having conversations with the teachers, administrators, and making sure I am able to support them. That's what it's all about. It's about supporting the needs of those students, those teachers, the administrators, just supporting everyone so we can make Duval strong. When it comes to renovating our schools, looking at some of the schools, Rains in particular. I know Rains is on that plan. I just read just the other day that I think they're going to a full another year. So it's a year before they had stated that it's going to be. They're looking to rebuild Rains, which is a great thing. I just got some information on another school, which is Rufus C. Payne, but they're just saying they're getting ready to close George Washington Carver to transport those students to Rufus C. Payne. So they're consolidating. But the information that I received about Rufus C. Payne, they're not up to par. So making sure that our schools are being well in working conditions when they are not. We want to make sure those schools are well prepared, well equipped, lighting, whatever it has to do with maintenance, and we move students that way. So I'm in between them closing Carver to move to Rufus C. Payne. I'm kind of stuck on that. So that would be a question I would probably have to ask superintendent in the next board meeting, because I just got that information where they were going to consolidate that school. But then when I looked at the numbers, there's more students at Carver than there are at Rufus C. Payne.
Hmm. What kind of effect are the private schools and these other schools that are not public? What kind of financial effect are they having on public schools? And are you seeing a detrimental effect on the public schools that would be in your district?
Yes. I want to say it is a big effect when it comes to those schools that have already closed and then one school's opening up. So it kind of takes away from the public, but in a sense, it gives a parent an opportunity. So I think with educating the community on what those schools are versus private, charter, or whatever, because when it comes to charter does fall under the public sector. But determining where those schools are appropriated would be a disadvantage in my opinion. But it does have an effect. It does have an effect, but it's up to us as a board member community to make sure we are educating our parents on those schools. I have friends, I have families that work at those schools as well. So when I say educate, we just got to make sure that we're educating them on on why these schools are being built. So yeah, I would say the funding, it does take away. It does take away, but they have that option. Parents have an option to either leave public school. I mean, I've been public school all my life. I am for public schools, but just understanding the charter is a different story. So just educating the whole community about that.
All right. Miss Denson-Butler, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. I'm going to be watching this as we get closer to Election Day,
Yes, sir.
which is a few months off. That you're going to be running all the way. Election Day for us, the primary is, although it's August 18th,
August 18th.
but
Yes.
we expect you to be on the ballot come November 3rd. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. How can we get in contact with you? What's the best way to contact Ms. Denson-Butler?
You may contact me at Alfreda for DCB4@gmail.com. That is my email. You may contact me there or at 904-699-2961.
Excellent. All right. Yeah. Alfreda Fredericka Denson.
Frederick.
You got a piece of my name in there too. And FAMU and Rains and FAMU.
Yes.
So we're pleased. I'm glad you were able to join us today. Again, we're going to keep a good eye on your campaign. I'm not going to see if you're going to draw very many detractors or opponents here as you get down the line, but we'll be watching it closely. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Matthews. Great having me. Take care. Stay safe.